Mount Albert sits out on the remote northeast of Tasmania. It's an 8-point SOTA summit reaching 1,120 metres, but it's had very few activations. 3 years ago, I drove past and I didn't think it looked that ominous. The distance from the trailhead out and back is less than 2 kilometres. The climb is under 300 metres. So the question, of course, is why so few activations? A low activation count for a statistically moderate summit means there's more to this summit than meets the eye. I've been mulling this over for 3 years, and today we are going to find out what is going on with Mount Albert. So I've stayed in Upper Esk overnight, and this morning just getting ready to head off to tackle Mount Albert. I just want to share with you why I chose to be based in Upper Esk. If you have a look at the SOTA map here, I am surrounded by awesome potential SOTA summits. Yesterday we did Mount Barrow and Sunset Ridge, but have a look at this. You've got Rugged Jack, Legas Tor, Stacks Bluff, you've got Mount Victoria within fairly short driving range. So you can actually see Mount Saddleback in the background. And Mount Saddleback's a 10-point SOTA summit, and I just realised behind me there's Ben Nevis, and we're going to tackle that one tomorrow. Today we're here to talk about Mount Albert, so let's make a move. It's only around about a 30-minute drive away, so let's get going. Let's see if I can get this footage of this bumblebee. Oh, off he goes. Been chasing these little fellas around. They are amazing. They're like the biggest bumblebees you ever see. Oh. All right, so this, oh, they've even got a little can there to mark the start of the trail. This is the, let's call it the trailhead. So there is a little bit of a space here that looks like you can park, and it's just literally a little bit of a dirt patch off Mount Albert Road. This is a really weird part of the state because you can actually drive around here for hours and not see another person. This morning I've travelled about 40 minutes to get here. So about 40 minutes drive from Upper Esk to get here, and I did see 2 logging trucks and one guy in a ute. That was it. Look, I've got no reception at all in this spot, so completely out of mobile reception range. Hey, how nice is that? So unusual in this day and age. Now, from the trailhead here, you can't see the summit. So, for the first time on this trip, I'm going to throw the drone up and just see. I'm just looking at the thickness of the bush there. I doubt if I'll be able to see the track from the drone, but you never know. So we'll have a look. We might get some perspective about what the conditions are like on the way up. If we're lucky, we'll get a bit of a look at what it looks like around the summit and the activation zone. I've just packed up the rucksack ready for this little walk up. Thought I'd give this a go and weigh it. Now, because I haven't got my vertically challenged buddy here to carry the antenna, I've got the antenna, I've got the food, I've got the water, I've got everything in the rucksack there, plus the radio. Comes out to 18 kilos. I've got to admit, that's a little heavier than I thought it'd be. You know, normally I don't worry about how much the rucksack weighs. I mean, part of the reason I do summits on the air, it's because it forces me to try and keep fit and keep strong enough to carry the weight. The other thing I've done after yesterday's near tragic loss of my action cam, here you go, I've got a little mock-up rope here attached to it. That's not ideal. I couldn't, it was the only rope I had, so cut a little piece off the end of that. I used to use that rope for throwing antennas into trees, but since I started carrying the pole, I don't use it. So here I am, I've cut the end off that, and now I'll just loop that around. I think losing the action cam would be tragic. If you don't catch it on video, did it even happen? All right, Mount Albert, here we go. Mount Albert, let's see. I'm expecting a very steep, nearly tripped over, oh God. The hard part about this, when the brush is close in like this, is that the way I've carried my antenna at the moment, gets caught on stuff. Michelle had this problem the other day with some of that really thick grass, and because she's short, the grass doesn't have to be very long, and it captures, just hits here. It's convenient in open land, but in this close scrub that we've got here, this is going to be a problem. So it's the easiest way to carry it, as long as the bush doesn't close in on you. So, yeah, here's a track that's got a fair bit of fallen tree crossing it. I'm going to have to give this a 1-star rating. How dare they have fallen trees on the track? All right, not sure if we can see this. Yep, so we're about, yeah, pretty much halfway, except to say that look at those grid lines. I might get a better shot of that. So we've just hit the point now where it was fairly steep, but you know, I'm not working at a particularly incredible pace today. But I've hit this point now where I think she's going to go up. What I do like about this is that there's plenty of dirt and stuff in between the boulders, so you haven't got those big cracks like you do up on Mount Barrow or even Mount Victoria. Hopefully I don't eat my words. So far it's been okay going, this forest. Plenty of logs down to negotiate, but that's all completely doable. Look at that, I just hit an elevation of 1,000 meters. So it means I've got 120 more to go, but I'm just peeking through the trees there. I can see the back of Mount Victoria, and that still looks ominous over there. I think it's a touch higher. I'll have a look later and find out. Yeah, the track doesn't disappoint. This is as steep as you can get without calling climbing. It's been a few points here where I've had 4 points of contact. So there we go. Did I say this? This is weird. I got 4G. Just a bit higher. Must be reaching the towers somehow. I swallowed a bug. Oh. Ribbon. So I've had to stop and do a little bit of a pack adjustment here. The foliage here and the trees and rocks, they just get too tight. So I kept getting snagged with my antenna pole mounted horizontally. So I've gone for a vertical mount this time. Also going and grab my gloves out. The scrambling here requires a lot of grabbing stuff with your hands, and I've now got a couple of thousand prickles in there. So yeah, these things and the things that look like moss, yeah, they're a bit gnarly to grab onto. Whew. All right, hopefully this arrangement works better. Thought I'd capture this bit. So, follow this track around, you end up on what I guess is the west face. And there's no way to get through here. It's really well marked with fluorescent tape. And I've just got to this end bit here that requires some serious scrambling. I've had to take my pack off. I'm literally putting my pack up as far as I can each time, and I'll climb the next bit. This is one of those things where I dread, because I just looked at the elevation and I'm really close, but I'm not quite in the activation zone yet. So I'll just persist with this. If it gets worse than this, I'm not sure if I'll actually make it. We'll see how we go. But it looks like sheer cliff face around that side. Oh, I just hope there's something better up top. All right. My pack. Here's the summit just up here. This wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It's a false summit. There's still cairns. It looks like a little bit of a valley through here, so I've got to keep persisting because I'm still not quite in the activation zone. Oh, you're kidding me. What next? Oh, I've got to check this and see if this is in the activation zone. Oh. Wowee. Alright, I'm at 1105 metres. Now strictly speaking, the activation point is at 1120, so I'm within the activation zone. And quite frankly, here's this very last bit here. It's a no from me. I'm not carrying my pack up that as well. Since I'm in the zone, I am going to make do with this little spot here. It's still freaking brutal and a little bit scary and somewhat dangerous, quite frankly. Yeah, I said it, quite frankly. Stupid thing to say, but anyway. Should I be happy that I'm here? Alright, I'm going to be happy. This is going to be an interesting little setup. I'm literally going to see what happens when I throw a wire over the edge. Alright, I just realised I didn't even film that. So I've just done the activation off the top of my head. I've probably got about 10 QSOs there, which was lucky because I also brought my spare batteries, which I thought were charged, but I've literally grabbed the wrong ones. They got 10 volts each in them. So I've ended up managing to get that activation, which was amazing. So I wasn't very happy getting it, wasn't very happy with the conditions, but it's great to get it done. So with that all said, I've now got a scale. I'm going to have to work out how to get down again. I think without a pack, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but done, worth it, all good. I'm going to pack this up and get moving. So now that I've got Mount Albert in the bag, I think I've worked out why the low activation count. I think it's mostly because of the remote location. The top section is actually much harder than it looks on the map, and the final climb's definitely steep and rocky and sometimes a little scary. You're probably going to get scratched up on the sharp rocks, the brush and the prickly things that grow along the track. Well, alright, I'm about halfway down now. Yeah, getting down this hill, just managed to climb. Lots of slips and falls. We don't know what's at the end. Although at least this is fun. And you know what, at least I know what's at the end. A car and a hot meal. Whew. Mount Albert is a summit that makes for a great day out. It was good fun, it was difficult at times. I definitely recommend gloves, long pants, long sleeves, and probably a pack that weighs less than 18 kilograms. The view is actually excellent from the summit. You get a really clear view across the landscape. Tomorrow I'm heading towards Ben Nevis, which is another low activation summit with its own set of questions waiting to be answered. I'm planning on doing a video on that one, which should be out in a couple of weeks. If you've made it this far, have a think about leaving me a comment. They're really appreciated. SOTA can be a really lonely activity. A few comments go a long way to making it feel like we're not out there doing it all alone. So thanks for coming along on this little journey with me. And for now, I'm just going to say 73, safe travels, and hopefully we'll see you back soon. Holy. We are done.